Hello, it's Gordon here. Hope all is well with you. This Facebook Live I've called Taking Different Steps Than Your Community, and it's in response to a question, because in one of my previous videos, in fact my pinned video at the top of the page, where I ask, what would you like me to talk about when it comes to turning your passion into profit online? That's your passion into profit online. What would you like me to talk about? What would be the first question that springs to mind? And I had a question from David, and it was an interesting question. I'm not sure if I've actually understood it. I'm going to read the question out in a minute, and then I'm going to give two answers as I see it. So here's what he said. If it is necessary to do something, and you are very sure of what you are doing, and righteously directed through exactly the right communities, would you be patient or trust them at all? Or would you take steps even if you have so many people working by your side? And he says it's an interesting question, and it's a case he's dealing with at the moment, as many people are. So, if it's necessary to do something and you're sure of what you're doing, you've got the right community, the right set of people around you, the question as I understand that is, would you be patient, trust the community, or would you take steps even though you've got all these people around you? Now, to me, that's asking, would you take different steps? I'm just going to raise this camera a little bit. There we go. So, I'm going to talk about one of my favourite words, one of my 4 magic words beginning with A, action. Because it's all about the action. You've got to take steps of some sort. Because if you don't take action, if you don't take steps, nothing is going to change, or it's not going to change in a way that you've directed with intention. So action is one of the, what I call the 4 magic words beginning with A. It's always about the action. Now, when it comes to taking different action, different steps to the community around you, that is a good question. Because if the community around you, in whatever niche that may be, when it comes to turning passion into profit online, if they're saying do one thing and be patient, and you're thinking, I don't know if that's right, should I be patient or should I be doing something else? Well, we come to one of the other 4 magic words beginning with A, which is ask. Because if you are surrounded by the right community, if you have the right people around you, they will welcome you asking anyway. They won't have a problem with you asking, and they should be saying, I understand why you're asking that. Here's the answer that we suggest. Or different people in the community might say, here's the answer I suggest, here's the answer I suggest, here's the answer I suggest. So you might get different answers from different people in the same community. And it could be a community that you know have the same ethics, intention, the same agenda as you, basically. They're on the same page as you, but they might have different ways of going about it. And funnily enough, when it comes to internet marketing, turning your passion into profit online, there are loads of different ways. I'm going to hold up one hand, there's 5, way more than 5 different ways of doing it, way more. So which one is right? Well, find out. Find out. Combination of asking and action, because you can question. If they give you an answer, right, someone says, I suggest this step, ask them why. Ask them why they're suggesting it. Are they suggesting it because they're just parroting a response from someone else? Or are they suggesting that because they've got their own experiential, anecdotal story to tell about it? That is hugely powerful. In other words, I'm saying try it because I tried it and this is what happened for me. Does that make sense? And then once you've asked those questions, you still might think, okay, there's still several solutions that make sense and seem logical, well, then we come back to action, don't we? Take action and find out which works for you. Because it could be that any or all of the steps will work, but one or two or three of them might not work for you, might not work for your personality, and you might find that there's only one or two, or maybe even only one that you think fits in, is congruent with you, the real authentic you. And in that case, there's your answer. But you can only get that by combining asking with action taking. Yes, you can still be patient while you're doing that, because you do the asking. If you're in the right community of like-minded people, you're going to do the asking in a patient way. So you're not going to be aggressive, you're not going to be rude or impatient, you're going to do it from a foundational position of integrity. So there we go, that's my answer to David's question. Thank you for that question. I've got another question coming up which someone else asked, which is, what would be the first step? Which is a great question, and I'm going to answer that in another video. But let me know what you think of that answer. If you have any more questions or views, do leave them in a comment below. Do hit the like button, I would appreciate that. Hope all is well with you. Wishing you, as ever, health and happiness, and I will speak to you again soon.